The NHL finally returned over the weekend, and it wasn't bad hockey. It wasn't great hockey. I kind of forgot that the Montreal Canadiens were playing Saturday night, so I missed the first two periods and caught the third period and caught the overtime period. I saw both penalty shots, and by the third period, it looked more like an exhibition game than an actual playoff game. The intensity just wasn't there. You could tell because Jonathan Drouin muffed his penalty shot badly. Thank God Jeff Petrie put it in the net in overtime. So I was happy to see the Montreal Canadiens win the game. I was also happier on Sunday to see the Leafs go down because I'm not a Leafs fan. Because Toronto sucks in more ways than one. And that game also lacked a lot of the intensity. Minnesota-Vancouver game, it started out with a lot of intensity and hard hitting at first. But the other games I didn't really watch too much of. I know there was some controversy with the Montreal game because they only had the English version of O Canada on Saturday. Because technically Montreal is not the home team in this one. They should have just played the version that has both English and French. That way to keep it all politically correct in that sense. But at least that's the only hiccup in that game. The Minnesota game, I turned it off after watching Matt Dumba raise his fist for the Canadian American anthems. I really didn't need to see that. That could have. You want to do that? Go stand in the corners of some street and do it. If you want to be a social justice warrior, then go do it somewhere else. Not in a hockey game. When I see that kind of stuff, I just turn the game off and don't even pay attention. Apparently the Toronto Raptors did the same thing ahead of their tip-off for Black Lives Matter. I don't even watch the Raptors anyway. I was happy they won the championship last year, but I don't really watch their games, so that didn't really affect me too much. And the same thing with the women's NBA. I don't even watch that, so they can walk off the court all they want. So the hockey wasn't bad. It wasn't great. There were moments you could tell it was definitely wasn't the same as like an exhibition game in a lot of cases. Carolina beat the Rangers 3-2. Chicago over Edmonton 6-4. Edmonton only has one real line. They don't have a lot of depth considering all the draft choices they've had over the years. Islanders beat Florida 2-1. I actually like to see Florida go further in the playoffs. And of course, Montreal beat Pitt 3-2. And then Calgary took out Winnipeg 4-1. There was a pretty brutal hit in that one, but it is what it is. Then last night, you had Arizona take out Nashville 4-3. Philly beat Boston 4-1, which I'm happy to see because I can't stand Boston. I'm not a big Philly fan either, but I'm not a Boston fan. Colorado took out St. Louis 2-1. Columbus took out Toronto 2-0, which I'm really happy for. And the Minnesota-Vancouver game, Minnesota 3-0. I saw the first Minnesota goal, and after that I never watched any of it. Because like I said, I turned it off at the opening because I couldn't care less. And then when I did flip it on, I saw that one goal, and that was it. So not a bad start for the NHL that night. Not a bad start for the NHL to get restarted. It's weird not seeing fans in the crowd. It's kind of like when I played in the beer league. There was hardly anyone but a couple of wives in the stands. And I see they have things draped over the front rows. I guess they're kind of like screens. They can reflect stuff off when guys score in that. So it's really weird not seeing any. And then when they do score, they have crowd noise. It's just not the same effect. So they really don't need the big NHL arenas for this. They could play in anything that has an NHL-sized rink. So they could have played anywhere in the country instead of just Toronto and Edmonton. But we'll keep an eye on this and hope the games get even better as the time goes on. Anyway, until next time, this has been Hockey Night in Belmont.